Welcome back to the channel, it's Nine, and today we have quite a lot to talk about with a new Kojima game confirmed, finally, and it's coming from a pretty legitimate source, so we're going to talk about that, and we're going to be talking about PlayStation's London studio and what's happening with their new game, all officially confirmed information. Now, before we get to that, I really appreciate if you guys hit that like button and that subscribe button. It helps the channel a ton. We are on the road to 9K subscribers. Now let's jump into this Kojima game that has been confirmed. The official source of this news comes from Norman Reedus. When asked by Leo Edit about filming Death Stranding game, Norman Reedus responded, "We just started the second one." So let's break this down. We're going to take a look at some previous comments that he's made from last year and the year before and really dive into the details of this. So first off, this is not reference to an actual film. This is in regards to mocap and anything else that would require capturing his likeness in the game. He confirmed for the third time that there is a sequel in production, that they have started it. So if you remember on March 10th, 2020, he had also said that they were working on a second game in an interview with Wired. In quotes, "We did Death Stranding, which was a huge hit, and we're in talks to do other stuff." He then later adds to this and says he's talking to Hideo about maybe doing some Death Stranding stuff. Okay, so then later on in August 29th of 2021, Norman Reedus, speaking to IGN Brazil, said, "I think we're doing a second Death Stranding. The game is in negotiations right now." At first, it was thought that this referred to a director's cut, but now that the director's cut has come and gone, we know that this is in reference to a sequel, and all that's left is for us to decide whether this is official or not. So while technically speaking, this is not coming out of Kojima Productions, I take this as a confirmation. He's directly involved and plays the lead role of the first game. Assuming he has a major role in the second game, I would say this information is solid. I do believe he is going to have a major role in the second game, and I do think that this is pretty much the most confirmation that we've had about anything revolving around a Kojima game. There's been a lot of rumors, there's been a lot of talks about this and speculation, but this is coming from someone who works with him. This is coming from someone who has direct involvement with the game, so I am convinced. There is no question about it. I feel like this is a confirmation of Death Stranding 2. Now, that's not to say that he has no other projects in production, but we know that Death Stranding 2 has to be one of the games that he's working on, or whatever they're going to subtitle it. May not be 2, may have a subtitle, who knows? We'll see in due time. Now, next up, I want to talk to you about the new PlayStation London Studio update. This update comes from a job posting, and there is some new information revealed in this post. Let's go over the info, and then we'll talk about what all these things mean. So this is a PS5 exclusive online multiplayer game that will be focused on a brand new IP. This is a fantasy-themed game. This is a new project that the entire team has been working from ground up. So they've been really working it from literally nothing and building it up, and the entire team is involved. They are looking for new starters to continue their journey on shaping their plans for their AAA project. There will be an initial campaign, then post-launch content and support. This is described as a non-linear and a live service game. So these are all the new details that we have. Let's break it down, find out what all this means. So this for now is labeled a PS5 only game. There is no mention of PC or any other platforms. This could change down the road. I would assume that depending on the success and depending on what the game is like, I could totally see it going to PC down the road, as they would just want to maximize their profits, and they have already talked about their PC initiative, so this is something that shouldn't surprise us. This is a very early stage project, likely 2 to 3 years before we see anything, even a teaser. I don't imagine they're going to show us anything for a while, so we can kind of keep gathering little bits of info here and there, which I will definitely do. But as for now, I wouldn't put my hopes up to see this game anytime soon. This new IP will have a strong emphasis on story and a lot of DLC down the road, something like a Destiny game. I see a lot of comparisons to Destiny, especially because it is also a live service game. The fantasy theme also brings some comparison to Destiny, but I would hope it's wildly different since we already have a Destiny. I do think it's going to be wildly different. I'm just saying that that is kind of the comparison that I've seen people draw. So overall, I think this game sounds intriguing, but without any real footage, it's hard to make much of it. Like, I'm not going to be here telling you, oh my God, I'm so excited for this game. This game is going to be amazing, because we haven't seen anything. We don't know what it's going to be like until we see more. I am very intrigued, and I'm looking forward to seeing more, don't get me wrong, but I also want to manage my expectations. I don't want to overhype something that we know nothing about. That's very important, that we manage expectations, because sometimes we get too excited and it just disappoints us when it's not what we expected, because we've built up these expectations that are just unrealistic. It is a live service game. We'll see what happens there. It's been tough doing good live service games. There's very few games that do it well and are still around. So I think this is going to be a real challenge. But with Bungie, I imagine that they're going to help them create the best possible live service game the team possibly can. So I'm looking forward to it. But again, managing expectations. When it comes to the release date of this game, if I were to make a guess, I would say anywhere from 3 to 5 years from now, we could get a release date, or it could release. And I feel like that's a reasonable amount of time now that they've built the groundwork for the new IP. But again, these things take a lot of time, and it depends what they run into when it comes to development and hiring new talent, as that can take a lot of time too. But that's all I have for you guys in today's video. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think of this Kojima game that has been seemingly confirmed? I personally think it's a sure thing. What do you think? How do you feel about PlayStation's London studio putting together a team for a new online multiplayer game that's going to be fantasy themed? It's a new IP. It's a live service game. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, please hit that like button, that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos. You can share this video with a friend. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links will be in the description. And I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.